Good evening, everybody. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Hello.
This is Chuck Whelon, calling from planet Earth. Thank you for checking out our show today, here on the interwebs, using the wonders of modern technology in the year 2023, in the month of October. And we will be talking in a minute to a very important guest, Mr. Roxy Roller. If we can get him, he's a rare beast, a rock and roll animal. We're trying to capture a bit of that magic on the show today, if we can. Some animal magic.
Trying to coax him in.
This is
animal magic. We're going to hopefully capture on the show today, if we can get him in. That will involve some technical difficulties. So we'll see. But hopefully he'll be here in a minute. In the meantime, here is the theme tune.
One day as I was wandering through the aisles of my art store, I bought myself a pictomicron and some crystal board. I made a fancy comic, and now I am all set to be the greatest web cartoonist on the fucking internet. I'll have a forum and a blog and links from by a web snark, and a William G. The world can be a roaster. I think it's a safe bet when you're the greatest web cartoonist on the fucking internet. When you're the greatest web cartoonist on the fucking
I was having some lagging issues there. I don't know if my internet's going down. So I'm just texting with Roxy here, see if we can get him online. Okay. I don't know. Roxy, are you watching it? Can you see me? Maybe we can see.
We're trying to catch and tag a rare rock and roll animal like Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom.
The elusive Roxy Roller.
Yes. Well,
so would like Croc Hunter be after a Roxy? Is this something where we would be excited to see?
I'm going to stick my finger up his butt.
There's one in the wild right now. He won't come on our show. Let's see if I can stick my finger up his bum.
I think I missed
Roxy, I'm not going to do that. That's
okay, yeah, I don't think that actually happens. That's a parody of the Crocodile Hunter. And I can't remember the comedian that actually does that bit.
Okay, he's having trouble. He's sending me, okay.
Okay, if you're watching right now, we need to collect funds for...
you guys talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go and try and get the guests here.
Well, I'm all prepped to draw, so I'll just share my screen, and that will make it look like we're doing something.
Okay,
so I'll do that.
I'll just readjust my glasses, and then
I'll
tell you about my day. Well, first of all, I wake up way too early. Way too early.
Way too early.
It's not even light, and why am I awake? That's wrong, So that's how things start out. And then I think to myself, how early is it? Is it 3 a.m.? Is it 5 a.m.? If it's 5 a.m., it's not so bad.
Yeah. So I have a 2-year-old whose sleep schedule right now is kind of funky. And so, I was definitely up at 3 a.m. and 4 a.m. and 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. And, I generally have to get up at 6 a.m. to get Ian ready to get out the work by 7 or out the door by 7. I have to drop him off at the train station. And then I went to the grocery store. So,
I just had an idea. I'm going to call him on Facebook Messenger here, see if that works. See what happens.
See.
Can we do a how-to? You know what? We should have a how-to video for logging in. Like a fun...
Oh no, it's going to want to use my camera and microphone.
Yeah.
Well, you could leave for a second and then chat with him, and then me and Amber will talk about how we can't sleep right.
Yeah, well,
Amber,
I don't know. Like
Amber,
you've been we were chatting. Like you said, you had music questions for today and stuff. Like
I do
I
have
thought you were
music.
excited.
I do have music questions. I'm excited. I didn't sleep right, you know. Aren't kids supposed to like get in like, so this is, 10 years ago for me. I used to know this stuff, but kids are like supposed to get into a pattern at some point.
Yeah.
Do you know anything about that?
Yes.
Oh,
Oh, it looks like we're gonna actually have him in a little differently.
this is what an internet.
Well, I'm trying, but he's not answering now.
This is what an internet frog sounds like. Mating call of the inner frog.
I just love the fact that we have so many options. I love living in the future.
So many options.
Okay, he's not answering that.
So many fail options.
I don't know. Maybe he's trying to get in another way.
You know what? I could.
What happened?
Talk
Okay.
a little bit about Roxy. You know how like they talk about people before they come on the show. You give him a little, and then like he can.
Yeah, because I have no idea who this
fill it
guy
in.
is. I guess he's a celebrity, and I am completely in the dark about this.
Me and Chuck made the mistake of calling him a local celebrity when he had to correct us and tell us it was international celebrity. But I'll tell you my personal story of Roxy. Me and Chuck, well, I think just Chuck invites me to this event. Oh, you know what? I was at this bar / music venue here that's right near my house actually, called the Knockout. And at first I didn't realize he was in one of the bands, and then he got on stage. He was in one of the bands, and I can't remember. He's in several music projects, and I forget the name of this one. But they had this great sound. It was just him on a bass, but because it was just him on a bass and a guitarist, he was doing things like bass chords, which you don't see a whole lot. And just real like, he's kind of like a baritone voice.
Yeah.
And this, I think 4-string bass guitar and this really solid, like Bonham-ish drummer. And I just love the sound like when that happens, because it's all this like low end energy. And I was like, damn, this is all right. So that was the first time I saw Roxy. And then I think Chuck had some exposure to him before that, because Chuck was telling me about this thing that was like in the Upper Haight, above the Haight Street Free Clinic, and which was very confusing for a while because he said at the Haight Street Free Clinic, which is the free drug clinic, I assume.
Okay.
Which I think has a history of its own. And so I was really confused for a while. I was like, well, it can't be in the clinic. They can't be doing live music shows in the clinic with drug addicts. That just seems like bad public service or business or something. And so we tracked it down. I think the first time I went there was with Chuck, and it actually is directly above the Haight Street Free Clinic. It's like on the 3rd level flat. So the free clinic's like on the second flat, and they're up on the 3rd. And, from what I could tell, it was just kind of like everybody Roxy invited or anybody that wanted to respond to it. I was impressed because it had gone on for like, so I took this in my notes here. I think they're on their, what are they on? They're on their 49th episode of this. So that means that they've had it for at least 49. I think it's on the weekends, which is probably more than a year it's been running. And it's basically like a regular San Francisco flat, which isn't big. It's like 2 flights of like walk upstairs, and then it's a bunch of local musicians, some people that are touring.
So it's kind of like an open studio, but for musicians.
Yeah. I mean, it is like pre-booked, I think. Like he knows who's going to play.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like a loose schedule. Like there aren't hard times like at a venue. They'd be like, you got to get off the stage at 8:00,
Yeah.
But I think he does have it all planned out ahead.
Yeah.
He
does, but they don't always like hit the
time
hit
slot.
the marks they want to hit, at least from what I've seen. And
limited experience.
in my limited experience of going there 3 times. And there was like food and
So
It was
you just feel like you're at the cool kids table hanging out with them.
You know what it was? It was like musicians on musicians. Probably half the people there are musicians or are playing in a band.
Yeah.
And it's like tight quarters, but they've got like a regular like professional stage gel light, and they've got a PA system.
Yeah.
And the way that you're playing, the way that the drummer is playing, right behind him is a bay window. And there was one show I saw where the guy opened up the bay window and like stuck his head out. And if you were on Haight Street, you could have seen him. So yeah, that was my first experience, or my first couple experiences with Roxy. And I think I've seen him play a couple more times in different bands that he's in. That's one of my questions for him, like how many bands are you in? I think there's 3 maybe or more.
Well, I know of 3 off the top of my head. One is called Swamp Thing.
Hello.
One is XOX, and one is Black Crow King.
Yeah,
which Teresa and her and Anna in.
Swamp Thing is the one I initially saw with it's just him on bass and this badass drummer. And that was the one that got my attention. I was like, yeah, Swamp Thing.
Emma's getting viewers now because she's drawing a crotch.
Well,
the bigger the crotch, the bigger the audience.
Let me zoom out so that they can see that I'm not focusing on a crotch.
Is it
so much as that's just happens to be the part of the anatomy that I'm drawing right now.
Is it true what they say about drawing crotches, Amber?
What's that?
The bigger the crotch, the bigger the audience. Is that why we have? Is that why we have 5 people tuned in?
Well, I mean, we're supposed to have Roxy here, and my viewer says 100 crotches equals 100 views.
I hope that's true. I support this viewer's statement. Maybe Amber draws crotches, and that's what we should do for an hour and a half.
He's gone quiet now.
Amber draws crotches.
Yeah.
Just that. Just I'll do it as a series. Just page after page of crotches.
And we'll rename the show to Amber Draws Crotches on Thursday.
There's a song by Jonathan Colton called "The Town Crotch."
I don't think I've heard that one. I heard a lot of his stuff back in the day.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've heard that one.
Let's see, you guys just found a life hack, says Val Clover.
Amber draws crotches in packages on Thursday.
No, I was drawing like legs, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see if it turns out or not. This is supposed to look like bounce. That's the word that I'm trying to illustrate with my illustration.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I get that.
Yeah, it's like, so I'm thinking kid on a trampoline.
Yep. That's what I was going to say, trampoline.
Yeah. And so just trying to figure it out. I don't know.
Well,
we'll figure it out.
I hope Roxy makes it. If not today, some other time.
Oh, yeah, they'll figure it out. I mean, technical difficulties are a staple of our show.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I don't know why. I thought there were probably going to be technical difficulties. I thought, well, no, maybe like he's got. Oh, hang on, he's giving me. Oh, hello. Is he trying to reach somebody's Instagram's trying to reach me?
I like Chuck's mumblings.
Let's see, that looks hella good. My hands are
just shaking again.
Oh, thank you.
I like something's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it'd be cool because every time I see Roxy, it's at a show, it's loud, and when you play a show, you're always kind of preoccupied with like, at least right around when you play, you're preoccupied with getting your stuff on the stage, making sure it sounds right, and then you do your set, and then you're kind of preoccupied with getting your shit off the
stage and being respectful to the other musicians and by getting it off the stage.
I really haven't talked to him just in brief little things. But he sounds like he's an interesting guy, and I'm not going to try to wildly speculate on the rest of his life story and, his connection to the. I'll let him be here for that. If anyone screws it up, it should be Roxy, not me.
Let's see. Let's do killing it. Killing.
How about 0G, yo? 0G, y'all.
Here. Let me try making it a little smaller. There. Killing it. Killing it. 0G. All right. And then, yeah.
Damn, did you start that when we started this?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Chuck says I'm fast, but I feel like the quality is not there compared to my other stuff.
I mean, all my sketches are super fast, but they also look like, I don't know, a person on LSD and drunk,
Yeah.
Did them. I mean, I do.
Well, I assume that a person on LSD and drunk did do them.
Sometimes drunk, but I think my LSD days are well behind me. Last time I did acid, I didn't like it. Acid's one of those things where like it takes so damn long. It's like such a commitment. It's like you basically like wipe a whole day is gone. And if it starts to go bad, you're like, damn, I'm on this ride for another like 5 hours, right?
Yeah.
At least that's the way I felt.
I've never had a bad trip.
Wait, what? Are you guys taking drugs again?
No, but we are talking about them.
Amber's trying to talk.
Is this Photoshop? No, I'm using a program called Clip Studio Paint.
All right. Honestly, I go away for 5 minutes.
But it's very similar to Photoshop.
And you guys are getting high on LSD.
No, we're not getting high. We're just talking about it.
All right. Well, I'm going to draw a picture. Hopefully, maybe Roxy's going to show up. Oh, hey, wait. We got to watch. Someone's asking questions here.
Roxy, if you're listening or watching, I'm sure Chuck gave you this advice before, but well, you sent him some links, right?
I sent him the link so that he can join us live. I mean, we're here. If you're watching this, you can put a comment, and we'll see that too. I'll tell you what. I'm going to put the comments up if people are.
Comments. You can get in the chat, and so
somebody make a comment so we can see it.
Yay.
Aside from clicking on Chuck's link, the other thing that you can do is
there we go. Oh look, Roxy, there. Hold on, there we go. He's figuring it out.
He's figuring it out.
And did you tell him the Chrome browser? Seems to be the.
Yeah. I told him Chrome browser. I gave him the link. He's probably got to install Chrome.
All right. Soon we shall have Roxy amongst us.
Can everyone see my big pretty microphone?
Chris Porno and his big pretty what?
I have a big pretty microphone, everybody. It's about 8 inches long and nearly as thick as a beer can. My microphone is.
I thought you were just
that sounds much like the microphone I'm using.
Oh, Amber's got a pretty microphone too. I didn't know it's going to be so competitive in here.
Well, mine's big and red.
Well, if you're proud of it, why can't we see
it?
Are
we still talking about microphones?
See?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I like it. Big and red. It looks like a little bomb, like a little hydrogen bomb.
All right. Drawing.
So what are you drawing, Chuck? I'm working on Inktober, so.
Roxy had a funny idea this morning. He put a comment that Chris should change his name to Chris Porno. That was a good.
I was like,
that was a good name for a porn star. He said like a bratty porn star name, and I like that he said bratty. So I'm drawing like a kind of a bratty Astro Kitty.
These will be my glasses if I choose to do that. Roxy, I got something to tell you. You got to go back in time about 50 years for that to be original. I've heard that since about age 12.
He heard that before. Chris was like, not funny.
I
I thought it was funny.
I gotta tell you, it was mildly funny the first 100 times.
Wait, we got him. We got him.
Well,
Let's
we
take
got
the
him.
comments off the screen. Yeah. Let's
Sometimes
take
we-
the
Okay.
comments
Sometimes
off
we
the
get our
screen.
guests.
Yeah.
All right. Comments off, guest on.
Guest on.
Wait, how do I turn it off?
Terrible.
Wait, I can't
That's
turn it
okay.
off.
What's terrible?
There we go.
The lighting?
All right. I'm
I
turning
know.
off
The smell of
my
success.
thing, and I'm going to turn off
Here we go. Oh, here we go.
drawing just
I-
for the moment.
I feel like I'm in dark and in a
Oh, there he is.
Yeah, there I am.
So what cave are you in, or cavern?
Chuck,
I'm
you got
actually
to
in
turn off
it's
the
a-
comments.
It's a mid-century
I
house
can.
here in Joshua Tree.
Oh,
I just have one overhead light. I can do something with the light. You left an old fucking fluorescent thing over there or something. I'll figure it out. What should I shine my phone in my face? Let's see if that helps. Right? You gotta be resourceful in these times. Let's see.
or if you have a
Well, it is October. It is the witching month. There we go.
I don't know, man. Remember that thing with Conan O'Brien, the year 2000? We do that thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you guys
Yeah.
go work it out. This is good. As you guys are talking, you'll talk amongst yourselves, and I'll find some better lighting. Okay? I gotta.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, hang on a
no
minute.
worries.
I'm glad.
Yeah, we're having
glad
trouble. Now we
you
can't
made
get
it.
rid of the chat overlay anyway.
Glad you made it. Candlelight. Light a candle.
I'm just gonna press refresh. Hopefully that'll work. What? Changes you if I refresh, something bad's gonna happen. Can you not turn it off, Amber?
I can't turn it off on my end.
Can you turn it on?
Chris, were you the one that turned on the comments?
No, I don't. I didn't.
I think I did, but
I think
I can't.
I'm blaming Chuck.
I can't turn them off again.
You can't turn the chat
I'm click-
off.
Yeah,
clicking
yeah,
on the-
and so we're framed weird right now
Well,
because of that.
There is something weird in there. Let's see if I can hide it. Hit it. I hit it. Is it gone?
No.
Damn.
Let's see.
Oh, we
do
have,
an exquisite corpse, lots of
Wait,
criches.
why don't you just go through like a lot of these? Oh shit.
We're gonna just do this fucking. Make it happen. There you go. Whoa! All right, something's happening. I don't know. Put it off to the side.
There he is.
Yeah, something like that. That's fine. It'll be something.
Hi, Roxy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you? Thank you for coming on.
The weather's been great down here, honestly. So it's been really nice in the day. It's good to get out of town, the Bay Area, the vacuum, and just
Yeah.
The Joshua Tree is open. So, only had it like 9 or 10 days. I've just been busy in the city having my career. There's Ronaldo the sun dog. There he is. There he is.
Wait, is Ronaldo the little Chihuahua?
His name's Spiky, little spiky boy, and we're smoking dabs and 420 and having a good time. Yeah.
I think we're stuck with
It's a good
the
show, yeah.
comment
It's
box,
really
but that's
good.
fine.
What'd you say?
Oh no, we're stuck with the comment box on the side.
That's all right.
Oh,
Send us
right.
comments. Yeah, we can't get rid of the comment box, so everybody better send us comments.
I'm gonna send comments right now.
Oh well.
So,
I'll make the,
so Roxy,
yes.
so Chris has got some questions to ask
Okay,
you.
I'll answer them.
All right. Well, I guess we're gonna jump right into it.
Yeah, we're going to interview you,
right,
Roxy.
right
Okay,
in.
so we've been talking about how we met you. I mean, we met you. Well, I met you at the Knockout as a friend of my friend of the show, Teresa.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Teresa.
Yeah,
And
Teresa
You told me about
commented.
your album, and like we were thinking about using that song "Vampire," but it's one of these things like not necessarily a once in a lifetime song, but something special. And I didn't really understand all the ins and outs of the contract. I haven't done that yet, so it's all good. I'm glad it all happened, and maybe I can be on the next one.
yeah. I'm working on my next book's called Astro Kitty in Urfspace, and I'm doing a whole bunch more drawings, and I would like to set those to music. And you sent me some of the stuff that you've done, more like electronica, that you did with like the Star Ranch, which is like different. Like I was amazed like how diverse of musical talent you
That's the
have.
role of you. I don't know what's happening here. My shit.
Well, I was just saying that you play in a lot of different bands.
I'm sorry, bro. Let's get it together. Next time. I never done this before, really. I was as far as just live streaming an interview. I've never done it.
Well,
so I'm
how many
bringing
bands are you in?
something. I think about 6 right now. I think there's another project that's happening. So I'm just trying to stay busy and live my best life. Just being as creative, positive, and productive as I can.
you know, with the days I have left, you know, we all have like limited time left here. There's a window, and I, you know,
Damn, that's
Yeah.
so true.
you know what I'm saying? You just start to see the finish line. You know, both my parents passed, so that made me think about, God, this lighting. I should have put my more makeup on. I don't know, man. But
Yeah,
my parents-
I was wondering if you were going to come in full makeup.
I should have. You know, we're just kicking it like desert style. I got these big shorts on. We did a great show last weekend, which was good. But, you know, I'm just thinking about mortality and the afterlife and all that shit, and doing our masterworks and staying involved in the community right now with the way politics are. And as being the elders, you know, our voice does matter. And I think there's a ripple effect. So I've just been thinking about that a little bit. There's some guys going to be running against Biden. And I'm like, just what's up with that whole thing? So, yeah, thinking about a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Contemplate it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, it's been a strange times, busy thing, lots of things happening. We went through this sort of quiet period.
Hold on. That's good. Okay. But your stuff, hey, wave or something. I don't think your cameras are working for me. Like, if you guys are naked right now, I would not know that.
Okay. Well, we see you and you look good.
Okay. That's all that matters. I don't know what okay, good.
Yeah. So you're doing a community, you're getting involved in the community.
But she asked me which bands I'm in. I can go through them real quick. Primarily, I do Swamp Thing. That's my two-piece with Evan. He's my best friend. And just we spend a lot of time. We hardly ever fight. It happens for once in a while, but we get along real good. And it's been a really good, connection with another musician. I'm doing XOX with Barb, and that's an electronic rock band with kind of distorted guitars and keyboards. And so that band's a lot of fun. And I'm doing Black Crow King with Hernan and Teresa. I guess we have a show coming up this Sunday, I guess, yeah. I'm doing that show, and then I'm going to go play How to Destroy the Universe Festival with Ethan Fort from Savage Republic with Evan. So I'm doing 3 shows in one day, 2 different locations. That's when I know I'm cooking with grease, yeah.
Whoa.
And
now,
so,
have you accounted for commute time?
No, I don't. That seems like I don't drive, so it's usually somebody else has to just take care of that. You know, we all have our talents. You know, you can't be good at everything. And so I book shows and organize bands and write and you know, paint, do other stuff. But other people, you know, either you're creative or you're functional. I think sometimes.
Yeah, you're like you're doing lots of different things. Like I mean, I've you know, I definitely can relate to that. You know, trying to do this show and be an artist and do different things.
I like that though. Yeah. You're creative or you're functional.
Yeah, I think there's 2 different mindsets, 2 different parts of your brain, like when you guys are doing stuff. And you know, some people are better hybrid, I think. But I mean, I turned my my flaws into my moneymaker. You know, if you're crazy, you might as well be good at it. Be the best one on the block. And so we might have trouble with Haight Street sessions. We'll see how that goes. The other tenant kind of bitching and moaning. He's trying to move maybe somebody in. But no, he has no power over me, so we'll have to see how that goes. You know, and the other bands, I guess I would say, is we got a new project called Liquid Sky that's going to have Galaxy Chamber in it. And I'm really excited about working with them. They're both beautiful people, and it's just more like Hawkwind type pig-face thing, which is just a collective that can rotate around and just kind of be creative together. Ooh, I just saw you guys move. All right, I caught up. I'm feeling better. So, yeah, do you guys, Danny, you guys, I know one of you guys plays music, Prince Porno, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
You played the sessions, yeah.
What's that?
Chuck was so cute showing everybody the cartoons, and you'd sing the songs, and it was a great little presentation. I like it.
Oh, thank you, man. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for giving us that opportunity. Yeah, we really enjoyed doing that, and we had a lot of fun.
Welcome there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
I play guitar badly,
right?
but you guys are actual musicians.
Yeah.
Well, I'm amazed. I'm always amazed by music. I haven't practiced it at all. I don't know. I had a bad teacher who put me off early on or something. I don't know, but I've gotten a lot more into it as I've always enjoyed music, and in a way, I kind of like the magic of it. You know, like you know, I prefer to enjoy it. Yeah.
Do you guys feel? I mean, I guess you don't get to do that as much with art. I mean, I used to when we were, you know, college and hanging around Pratt Institute in Brooklyn. You know, we'd paint on the same canvas together. You know, because we were poor and drunk on shitty wine and just kind of doing it. But I think that, you know, being in a band, there really is this kind of metaphysical kind of chemistry thing that happens when everybody's in the room together. That's what creates rock and roll, the friction and the different presences and the path leading up to that moment.
Yes.
Yeah, being in a good band is a really great experience. Being in a bad one, not so much.
Terrible, horrible. I do not recommend it.
What
I
has
mean-
been some of your worst experiences being in a band?
Or best.
No. Oh, the Nightmare Show from Hell. I can give you one quick anecdote. I was doing a show that I just saw my ex-girlfriend. She flew in. I was kind of fucking this Coke girl who liked Coke. I don't know, so leave it at that. But and she was super hot doing aerobics and all this other stuff. Her dad had sex with her dad and all this crazy shit. But when this other girl flies in, I know this is all real. And then she said I couldn't fuck her in the butt, but I don't know what. But then, so the other girl flew in, and I figured she came from Arizona. So you got to give up the booty for the one who traveled the furthest, right? Yeah, right? So she's like, and the other girl got really mad at him and fucked my roadie, and then he bought her a hamburger the next day. But on top of this, my band was breaking up, and I had a brilliant idea to do a transition between my old lineup and the new lineup in the same night. Yeah, brains, that's what's up. And so like, everybody lost. The girlfriend stole my guest list. She's like, that's why he's quitting your band. The other guys sucked because they were the new guys. And I live to tell the tale.
Yeah, all right, but yeah. Yeah, so that was quite a night then.
Dude, I don't know, man. I just got that. Usually it's I'm damaged good, so I probably attacked damage because I had a lot of, different things happen in my youth. So, you end up relating to people like that. Same people who have had a difficult path when you're young and helpless and defenseless, like 8 years old and shit. You know what I mean? So just want to get that, make them open to your heart. To just being there, listening to other people's stories. There's some video things that really show soft white underbellies. A video
yeah.
really
I watched that.
Stuff. Like you sit there and listen, and you feel so much empathy and compassion, and that could have been me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I actually watched quite a bit of that, Roxy. I don't know if you can hear me, but soft white underbelly. Like part of me is like, I feel like sometimes he's exploiting people, and then part of me is just like fascinated, by the stories of these people.
I think it's still worth it for them to tell their story and to create the artifact. 100 years from now, these things. He's very serious about it. He's very dry. And go ahead.
Yeah. The Canterbury Tales is very similar. Chaucer listened to these people's stories and then he wrote them down.
Yep.
So only now we have cameras and, microphones and other ways to record the stories, but still telling people's stories.
You can't even poo in a fucking anywhere without feeling like somebody's like enjoying the show, and I think it's terrible that we have no privacy. I was just thinking about that the other day. Doesn't matter where you are, what you're doing. There's probably a camera on you.
Well, Roxy, but you invite the world into your living room.
Work it, baby. What are you gonna do?
But it's an invitation. Do you know what I mean? Right? Like they don't just show up there. You know what I mean? Like it's invitation. Like people don't just like barge in. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes,
it's like
they do. Yes, they do. For years.
Yes, they do. Sorry about that.
For years, we had this little thing where you thought you can turn off your camera. Turns out that the microphone and the camera's been on the whole time, gathering data, listening to our every word, and we carry it around like a ball and chain. Like we won't go anywhere without our cell phone. Right? They got us trained, and we did.
I did one time.
And so I just say, well, what are you gonna do about it? If you haven't fucked with me yet, I don't know what else I can do that I haven't. So I had my wild years, and we all partied and pulled some street fair and everything out there. So you're just like, what else? I got nothing else. After you do that, you just live your life and just knowing that it's there. But we're lucky to have had those times when there wasn't 24-hour surveillance everywhere we did. You felt like you could have a dirty little secret, or you can do something that just maybe somewhere in a treehouse somewhere, and you've got, I don't know, when you're kids, you do what? You create fires and run around with your bros fucking naked or something. I don't know, but just coming to make stuff. It was just natural. We weren't inundated with this insane hardcore porn that a young man could look at. And what young man's not going to be curious right now and get on some phone and see some cray abusive shit? Like some crazy.
Well, we would see that stuff though. I don't know. I don't think it wasn't like it was on the internet. You had to go and look for it. But all right. I mean, no, I don't know. It sort of came. It was around.
Yeah. Playboy, or my mom had a Playgirl.
Well, all right. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I saw some pretty strong stuff quite early on. I mean, it was going around.
If you're gonna talk about porn,
you know, as like a
What are we
medium
after?
here in the United States, you can't forget about Tijuana Bibles that go all the way back to the
Oh, yeah.
early 1900s.
Yeah, cartoonists leading the charge
know?
on porn.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like we've been doing the dirtiest porn.
Well, they had to.
during Victorian
Forever.
ages, they had dirty pictures that they, you know,
Right, but not
they
to the
would
extent
circulate
of the
around.
variety that you can see, like guys in panda suits smoking, gangbanging, this shit, you know, like it's just like what? If that's what they want to do, and it's just, I think it creates a certain mindset for the kids because that they wouldn't have seen or thought about any of that, or abusive porn or things like that, where a woman's being degraded. You know what I'm saying?
Or,
think
well,
it's
yeah,
that's
okay.
the idea.
Or maybe he wouldn't think to do it, but he sees this guy bitch slapping her butt as he's, you know, or punching her in the face, and really stuff. I can't get into it. I did.
Well, there's a lot of violence in comics and things. Yes, I mean comics. Yeah, well, but you know, seduction of the innocent was a big thing where they were saying, "Oh, well, comics were responsible for all these things." I don't really think so because like comics are usually made, I find, by sort of sensitive people who are, you know, creative artists who work very hard.
I
to make
agree
them.
when you guys are able to laugh and make sex fun and funny because it is funny. It's ridiculous. You know, you guys are,
Yeah.
That's funny.
right? I mean, as you get older, you realize all the shit you went through just to get it, and all the danger, all the crazy shit that kind of had happened in pursuit of the booty. So I don't
Well,
know.
you want to make sure kids are protected. That's
what?
always the goal, I suppose. I don't know. You know, that's what it's a bit like. What kids, you know, they say they're never too young to talk to them about drugs, and I think that's true. You can talk to them about anything if they
We're
want
in
to
an
talk about it.
interesting age right now where censorship is a hot topic. You know, some people think that the entire internet needs to be censored. Other people think don't censor anything and just, you know, let people find what they want, laissez-faire. But it's a hot topic.
Yeah,
And
I agree. But I mean, like, just with kids, you gotta just think, where's the line? You know, like I'm a Satanist. You know, I think everybody should be able to see whatever they want. But a certain age of parent is the only one that can decide that shit. You know, like I mean,
Yeah, there's like age appropriateness. You know, that's always, you know, an issue. Yeah.
you know, they're your
well,
child.
and Satanism is all about education.
Oh no.
You know, it's all about like know all the sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, like nowadays, everything has to be sort of have an educational message. Chris and I did a children's book, and Chris's philosophy was it wasn't going to have any educational message.
Well,
Much like this show, although I think this show is very
you
educational.
know, like there's great shows that don't really have any message. They're just engaging. Like Seinfeld is one of them. Seinfeld doesn't have a message. I mean, a lot of people love that show. I like it too. It doesn't have a message. I don't feel like every bit of media has to have a message, and I especially don't like it when media tries to like wrap you over the head with a message. You know, like pound it into you. Like I'm like,
Oh
okay,
yeah, but that's
what
its job. That's its job, is to hypnotize us, make us all think the same thought at the same time.
Well, oftentimes people will find a message in media that where the message wasn't intentional, and maybe even doesn't exist. And people do that all the time, you know, like putting Dark Side of the Moon with
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of
Yeah.
Oz. Okay,
I did that one. It was good. My friend
meaning in
projected
that.
it. It was good.
Well,
you know what I
but
call
people
that?
find meaning in that, and it's really just a random happenstance of putting those two things together and seeing how it syncs up. At least in my opinion, I could.
I
be
mean,
wrong.
I think
they
if you
create
look
the
for something,
narrative that they want to manipulate us into feeling what's going to serve their purposes, whether it's anger, fear, excitement, you know, all these kind of things, you know. And it's just, you know, everybody's got to be able to edit themselves. We all got to be able to govern ourselves in these crazy times. And I do think we're headed for extinction, but I also think that, I really look at, all these other species have gone extinct rapidly. It's dwindling in numbers. What makes us think that we're not next?
I mean, we've been around for a very short time, you know. Like compared to like sharks or crocodiles or a lot of things, we've been around for a very short amount of time.
Crocodile or sharks
yeah.
are older than Capius Minor in the stars.
Yeah. Well, we might be about to finish them off too.
I don't know what
if
that
we
is,
poison the
but
seas.
They're old. They're so old.
They're older than trees. Sharks are older than trees.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I've been there. Yeah, it's true.
You know,
they're the sentinels of the earth. Those are the older trees. You know, I think they stand here 2 centuries and just watch. You know, and they create this oxygen so we could breathe. We have a symbiotic relationship with them. And I think just evolution is one of the most miraculous things. If you don't believe in miracles or magic, just look at life, the fact that we even exist out of nothing
Yeah.
and have evolved into these kooky people that like do cartoons on the internet and talk to each other. And tell jokes and like, people with their own shows now. You look at YouTube and it's fantastic. Just some dude,
Yeah.
and he wants to talk about basketball. And he's like, got fucking 500,000 hits because he's talking about something a lot of people have interest in. And I think videos would be a great way for anybody to kind of go forward into the mainstream right now as a musician. Do some skits, man. You might, you know, like I watch just crap as 3.5 million hits, and so you're like, that's going to reach a lot more than most bands will. So you got to diversify your portfolio of talents and outlets that as an artist right now at these times.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff
Yeah.
that's going on for like I'm into YouTube Shorts right now, and if you look at like YouTube Shorts or TikTok, there's a good amount of videos that are like music related, either just people making music out of non-traditional stuff, or they're covering stuff, or sometimes it's originals. I mean, I'd say probably 10% of my, maybe 20% of my content is that.
You know, they did a study on music, and they found that when you have people who don't know each other, right, and they enter a group, if they're doing a musical activity, they have like empathy with each other much quicker than if they were doing any other type of activity, even if the other activity is creative.
Sure.
Music, it bonds people quicker than anything else that humans have created.
We are electricity.
More than pizza?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, it's how we decorate time, right? You know, art's how we
Wait, is that
decorate
yours?
space, but
Is
it's
that-
how we decorate time.
Is that yours, Amber?
No, I took it from a meme.
It's pretty good.
Yes. I took it from a meme, but it is. It's
Hey-
how we decorate
Hey,
time.
Roxy, I was going to ask you about like what your take is. So I've been in San Francisco since 2000.
Right.
And I've never really had my finger on the pulse of the local music scene. What's that?
I cut my name like usual cockeyed fucking. You know, I'm cockeyed. What can I say? But,
Sorry, Chuck's doing something with his brush. I can't
yeah, okay,
hear.
let's start.
Oh yeah, sorry, that's me. I'm doing some drawing.
But
Ask my
what?
question again. I'm listening.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, like, what's your take on what's going on in San Francisco, like right now in terms of music? I have a friend in LA that's kind of tuned in, and he was telling me about this band, the Reds, Pinks, and the Purples. Apparently, they're charting over in Europe. They're on some indie charts. They've got a write-up in Pitchfork. What's that?
Are they from San Francisco?
They're from San Francisco. They got written up in Pitchfork. Better than most. Pitchfork's kind of a harsh reviewer. They don't give a lot of 10s out. And I like their stuff. But anyway, like, so what he was telling me.
Yeah, our buttholes. You know, let people. You gotta say maybe honestly, but you don't have to rip somebody like that. That whole Gordon Ramsay thing. You know, whatever. You got.
Yeah, no, you don't, for sure.
Just being a butthole to people and just kind of like, you know, we're all trying to be artists, and nobody needs to be insulted just because somebody has a chip on their shoulder or insecurities, you know, or just that's their shtick.
Yeah, I mean they're just hard. They're just hard graders. I think it's almost like they're grading on a curve.
Okay,
you know,
I'll be one too. If you like that.
Like they said, I was reading today, like their average grade, their most commonly given grade for an album is a 7.
What do I think is going on in San Francisco?
Yeah.
Not a whole hell of a lot, man.
Oh damn!
You know,
I thought you were gonna cheer me up more than that.
I can say that Haight Street Sessions has been a ray of light in independent, do-it-yourself music, a comfortable place. People can just kind of a clubhouse for the counterculture. That's what my kind of concept was going into it, and giving up my personal space to let all these people. Oftentimes, I've even had houses where I knew Evan and one other person. The rest of my house was full of people I didn't even know. That was a lot for me to take. I never used to have parties, so I think DIY culture is bubbling up. But there's 4 or 5 clubs left, and hardly any of them play independent music. So it's a sad state of affairs, to be honest. And that's one of the reasons I created and provide this space for touring bands. You don't have a show in San Francisco, come to Papa, man. We'll work it out. And it's like we had some shows, and the place was probably 60 people, wall-to-wall people, and people were like, I haven't been to a party like this since I was a teenager. So I think it's still happening, but there's not a lot of rock fans in San Francisco, and like the audience doesn't exist. You know, like certain sports teams don't have a demographic to really sell the team to on a regular basis to make enough money to support it or sustain it, like spinning plates. You know what I mean? Trying to pay the people, and so I think you know, that's why Oakland shows did better. Maybe 2/3, sometimes better, more people, cooler crowd, a little bit younger, a little bit more rough around the edges. And rock and roll's got to be rough around the edges, or you just Spandau Ballet, you know. And then
Well,
that was,
yeah,
it was great
I mean-
for what it was, but it wasn't that rough.
Yeah, I mean, my take on San Francisco is they put out a certain type of rock, and it's kind of a more of a like a subdued type of rock, and they're definitely not too much into the hip hop. That is the
I think
impression
it
I
could be
got.
anything. San Francisco's been known to be very eclectic.
Hmm.
You know, I mean, like anybody can be just doing something if you could afford to even live there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so there's bands who come over to rehearse and they're like, oh yeah, we're a San Francisco band, but they're living in fucking Fruitvale or something, you know, like, and you know, it's cool. I'm just trying to keep rock and roll alive for future generations. It's rebel music, it's devil music. It was my salvation. It's been my damnation. You know, it's like it's my church. Gave me a reason to live when I was a kid. And so many people around my age have said the same thing. Like rock and roll fed our culture, our lingo, you know, our sexuality. Everything was influenced by rock and roll. It was the #1 influence on almost everybody's life in my junior high, high schools. You know, it was like it was, and they were like gods, you know, or superheroes, you know, and we were bamboozled. The music industry, you know, tossed up to a bunch of stupid kids whose parents had a little bit of money, and we bought all those Kiss albums, you know, or whatever. But at the same time, it was I feel really blessed that I to have lived in that time where musicians were fucking amazing. Music was amazing, taken seriously and supported by the counterculture and the mainstream.
Yeah, I often tell my daughter, I'm like, you know, the 70s. There's good rock and roll for every era, but like I feel like the 70s.
Hardly
was-
any. And only people in the indie clubs are doing anything worth a damn. The mainstream's filled with just crap, dude. I mean, what band has blown you away, or has been even?
All right, I have to think about that.
Half as good as even Guns N' Roses were when they came out. I'm not saying they're the best.
See, the bands that
I
have been
can't think of
blowing me
any.
away haven't been
I'm
rock
saying,
and
like,
roll
it's
bands.
like
lately.
that was
You know,
30
yeah.
years ago. That was 30 years ago. And okay, I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Well, I'm saying that the bands that have been blowing me away lately aren't rock and roll bands.
Exactly.
Like I like Scott Bradley's Postmodern Jukebox and the you know St. Paul and the Broken or St. Paul and the Broken Bones.
Yeah,
Broken
there's good
Bones?
indie bands. Yeah, or even just doing left of center stuff. Absolutely.
Yeah, you know,
I'm saying
and,
rock and
like
it's dead. I'm just saying it needs to
I'm
reinvent.
not saying that it's dead. I'm just saying that, you know, music goes through ebbs and flows, right? And like grunge came out of nowhere because people were tired of the sound of the 80s, right? But it had influence from 70s and 60s
Absolutely,
and 50s.
yeah.
And so
Hippies.
it was different than those other things, but you could still hear the influence in it. And so
Yeah,
I just feel like it's the pendulum swinging the other way, and it's just going to come back.
It's cyclical and generational, and maybe it's just played its course. Rock and roll is like they tried every hybrid that existed, right? There was country rock, reggae rock, funk rock, disco rock,
Metal rock.
like
Rap-
metal
Right,
rock, rap rock. You know, it really was almost yacht rock. You know, math rock. There's almost every kind of hybrid that's been attached to the terminology rock, and yet what is rock? You know, so originally it was country and the blues kind of put together into one pot, and it turned into the early rock and roll. Yes, what's up, Chuck?
I've seen some good young bands. I mean, okay, well, maybe Angry Tunes are not the best example because Dave's a little older, but there's some young people in that, and I've seen, like with the shows, I've seen some good, cool young bands doing some interesting stuff, and you know, just going around. So some very young people doing some things that are quite
I hear
good.
something fresh. Absolutely, I'm
Yeah.
not threatened or feel competitive. You know, the kids should be blowing me away. Fortunately, I just feel like I've been able to keep some kind of vitality because I never really fully made it. I've been pretty successful and had an illustrious career, but you're just not at that larger level. You know, I played Slims. You know, that was like, hey, I'm fucked up getting to play Slims. That was a great night. You know what I mean? I wish there was more, but then I feel good in the underground. You know, I feel it's real. I've never sold out, and
Yeah.
I was selling, nobody was buying. But then, you know, like Jerry Garcia said that. I thought it was funny, but at this point, I'm glad I never really compromised my art just to be a successful, phony, shallow fucking just asshole, you know, that's just on some major label that gets dropped, and then he's just like, oh no, I'm a failure, and it's over for him. He never will be good enough, and I'm still climbing. So I'm like Rocky. I'm on 3/4 of the way up the steps. I'm gonna.
Yeah.
I
I know the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's. I think that's. You know, yeah. You have to. You're required to sort of sell out. I'm afraid, like, you know, and it's been that way for a while. That you have to like toe a very corporate.
Jägermeister, anybody? I don't mind if I do.
Oh well, I wish you could pass that across the screen. I have whatever this is.
Although I like that Metallica, the video, Young
watched
Metallica that you shared, Roxy. That video.
Yeah, that was the early days. They were, you know, they were like, fuck it, we don't want to be on the radio. We're not going to make a video. My little brother loved it. It was a little bit too like testosterone for my tea. Like, whoa, no. Like, all right, Viking dude, whatever. You know, like go conquer some lands. And I thought it was great.
Yeah, I got more into it later when I was older.
Aggressive for me. I'm not. I do like aggressive music, but maybe more industrial than this is metal, you know, American bro dude kind of thing. They were underground as fuck in the beginning. Cliff Burton, and I don't think they really. Oh yeah, they sold out. Let's just call it. They're one of the biggest.
Well, yeah.
Hey, do we have a?
OEM, you know, they're like they went into this whole other Illuminati stratosphere. If you're a household name, you got fucked in the butt. That's what I've heard. You know.
Oh yeah, over at the Bohemian Grove with the owls.
Yeah, dude, there was crazy shit on YouTube about all these conspiracies. When I thought the left was about conspiracies and the counterculture, I didn't realize it was a right wing kind of neat knucklehead kind of other.
Well, yeah, Alex Jones has been going on about Bohemian Grove for a long time. Yeah.
They flipped the big times and the fact that now Democrats are really old school Republicans. We want law and order. We want things to work. We don't want to lie. We're trying to do it and just be sensible. You know, where Democrats were kind of off their rocker, wanting to, you know, fund LSD, whatever, you know, sleepovers. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever happened to that?
I know. Keep the dream alive.
You know, on that note, though, there are ayahuasca centers, and there are also centers for psilocybin mushrooms. And they're starting to open up LSD centers.
Where are these centers?
Various different places. They've opened them up for religious reasons. And here in the state of Colorado, mushrooms have been legalized.
I just want to say hi to Barbara.
Hi, Barbara.
Hey, Barbara. I can't see you unless you get really close to Roxy.
Hi.
Hey.
One of my friend's mothers is a priestess of ayahuasca, and another one of my friends runs ceremonies, and so I have friends who've been involved in that church.
Isn't it pretty?
Yeah, my brother swears by it.
Is.
Yeah, amazing. You guys are amazing, and you've been married like almost as long as I have. I think I got married in 1995.
No way.
Tina. Yeah.
And you're still married.
Oh yeah. She's she's our number one watcher of the show. But she's out with a friend tonight. So.
Right now.
Yeah, it's been. You find a lot out about yourself being in a relationship for over 20 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, my relationship is at the 12-year mark. It turns
Congratulations,
13 years.
That's still an accomplishment.
Yeah, it turns 13 years this November. So it's we're at the yeah we know each other pretty well at this point. But,
Absolutely.
But you guys know each other much better.
And we're decided to be two individuals together. You know, she is always going to have to be free. She's a Gemini and had a dance career and go off on these tours. And, you know, you just have to be good with that because that was what her love was. That's who she is. And I wouldn't want to limit her in any way personally, you know, despite, you know, anything on the other end. It's just, I want her to be successful and live it. And, you know, she's still doing it. And she's not.
Oh yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, I love it. I love her. She's so great. Yeah, amazing.
In the game that still has the passion and the drive to actually get in shape. You know, like you're looking in the mirror and you're wearing a unitard. Forget about it. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna see every little fucking. She stopped drinking, which is a big thing, and just so she can lose weight and get in shape for her next season. So, you know, she's like 20-year-olds. You know, that takes some guts right there.
Dancing is hard.
Tina, are you listening? Tina's also been giving up. She's also off the sauce at the moment. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got off the sauce for a while too.
Anybody that still does it and continues to do it is already won a medal in my book.
Yeah. My father was 37 years sober when he passed away from cancer. And so, but he stopped drinking for probably very different reasons.
Yeah, for
It wasn't for dance.
He had a DUI where some people died.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's a good reason to stop.
Yeah, it was one of those like hitting the rock bottom. Let's not do this anymore reasons.
That's
Damn.
why. Don't drive or have a
terrible.
license so other people can deal with that shit. So I just realized like you're hurtling down the street, even when you're dead cold sober, with this metal thing, and it just takes a little bit of a turn this way or that way, and you could be eating you could be eating the front end of your car, you know, like it's really, I just don't want that responsibility because I think too much, you know, I'm not always present, just sitting there going, okay, there we go, you know. Just
So are you in favor of electric self-driving cars?
I want that like the little aerocraft. I want it to just kind of swoop in and just take me wherever I need to.
Oh yeah, that's exactly why. Yeah, like you'll just go on your phone and the little drone will come and pick you up and you'll put it on your back and it'll fly.
Come and get me, man. I'll be your toy for the night.
Yeah, they'll be you're well positioned in your flat there. You'll be able to sort of fly off all over town. You'll have a little rooftop.
And I do in my mind. So I mean, you got what's going on with the CD or the album? I was just curious, like how the advances have gone, just conversationally.
Sales. I've not really promised anybody a lot in sales, but things. So the CD, I've got 300 copies of the physical CD printed up, which I've sort of been distributing copies to the bands and to the Kickstarter backers who backed it, and I'll be exhibiting those at. I'm trying to take them to different shows. So I took some to Supersonic, Symbiotic, and Charmwell were playing together on Sunday. And I took my little case, my Earth case of books and CDs. So I sold a couple of CDs there, 2 CDs at that show. Yay! So I don't know if I'm gonna, that's really, I don't know how I can make money off it. So I mean that, but it's a product that I have to sort of put with the books.
It's for donations for your art, like you're selling them as a kind of product that like is so to as a benefit for your art to continue putting out your comics and like you do.
Yeah, so I have different shows. So I've got I've got open studios I'm doing at the end of October, 28th, 29th of October. Anyone can come to my studio here on Paris Street in San Francisco, and I'll be open, and I'll have them there and all the other books. And then I'll be at the Fan Expo at the end of November, Thanksgiving weekend, the Moscone Center. That's like a big show. It was last year was the first year they had it. If you like sci-fi, they've got William Shatner and Ewan McGregor and all these sort of big sci-fi people are going to be there. So I can't remember who. Yeah.
William Shatner.
Oh, was it William Shatner? I can't remember. There's definitely Ewan McGregor is there, and like a lot of like all these big name like sci-fi people. So that's going to be a good show.
Of the comics that you're putting out, and
so I've got printed copies.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes, published. That's one of my goals. So
there's published and published. Yeah, so I'm self-publishing, and lately I've been working on sort of self-publishing all these sort of different things and consolidating some of my projects into like books on Amazon that I can sell, like print on demand. But then there's a whole other job of sort of going out and selling them. I've got like old comics that I did, like my Pufel graphic novel series. That's it. So I've got a bunch of titles under my imprint.
Make a promo for it and just tell people it's available. Sherry Curry from the Runaways, her sister made these little necklaces and matching earrings with a microphone, and they were hideous. I'm not gonna lie. But she was hawking for her sister, and they were like $97. And so I think like it's just cool for people to just kind of hype their friends' creations and try to get the word out there. So happy to be of service if I can. Any of you guys, if there's something I can help you promote or get the word out about.
Well,
thank you.
Well, thank you so much. Yeah. Well, you are. I mean, just thank you for coming on the show. That's helping. Guests like you, some more people will watch our show because you were on it, Roxy. That's true.
Well, there's more people are going to watch it. I'm going to hype this podcast, and I want to get into doing a regular one like this because it's really like you can't be in the same room with each other. I don't know. Is it? Can you play copyrighted music here, or is that limited?
No, it's
limited. Yeah,
that's sort of part of what led me on the whole path of putting the album together. Is I wanted to have some sort of music that I could use, sort of that was representative of my work, came from my friends and things like that. That was really the whole idea.
If you're going to monetize it, maybe there's a way that maybe they say, okay, well you can't do that, or you can't use the copyright stuff if you want to monetize. But you're just giving it away free. I don't know who you're hurting. You're promoting other people's music.
You're
playing it. You're not benefiting from it. You know what I'm saying? You're just playing it for other people, and with everything the way files are shared these days, I don't think it's really that illegal to broadcast, the Falls music or Joy Division.
But they find it. They find it every time we've had any even music. Like our friend Dale really liked the Prisoner show. We played the theme tune for the Prisoner. Da, da, da. They caught it and they said, "Oh, you were playing the theme tune of the Prisoner. We got to mute that bit out of your video." And then they just mute. They mute it out.
Local guests who give you the right, or the copyrights are probably not as rock solid, and you could probably broadcast their music.
Yeah, so those contracts that I did for the CDs, like they work for the YouTube, like so on the songs where they already were like digitally out there. Like for example, like the Angry Tunes, it said, "Oh, you're using the Angry Tunes music." I said, "No, here's my contract," and they said, "Okay, that's fine." So that worked.
The thing that pisses me off is that they go and delve into my memories like 4 years or 5 years ago. Look at this. Oh, we're muting it only in certain countries.
Oh yeah, the old
Years later, I'm talking about. It's already done, dude. Nobody cares. But they still.
Okay, I got one today actually. On one of the second song on the album, like Interstellar Earth Drive, I got a copyright from Brazil saying it was like Beatles copyright. It was across the universe. So I protested it because I don't think, although I can see there's some similarities, but I'm like, why is it coming from Brazil? Is that for all Beatles, or is it just like Beatles Brazil, or they're being particularly keen? I don't know why. So
that song is similar to what?
In every country, they have their own thing, and so what's going to be legal somewhere it might not in other places. I just hope they see the harm. If you're not selling it, what's the difference? It's like you're having a party.
Well, I am selling it though.
No, you are. Okay.
But hopefully, and then the digital album will be out later in the month as well. So then that'll be then that's really where like any royalties would come from, would be off that.
Song on the acoustic guitar. Does that sound like a good thing right here?
Yeah, that would be amazing.
And by the way, Roxy, if there's anything you want to promote, have at it. That's usually why people come on this show.
I want to promote love, true love, not all that bullshit people dishing around. Okay, things I would like to promote coming up. This Sunday, I'm going to be playing Manny's Backyard Barbecue. It's somewhere in West Oakland, and I can get everybody the address if you message me, or I can get it to Chuck. I'm going to do 2 bands. We're going to do Black Crow King early on, and then I'm going to do, I think, Lipstick Killer. So we're going to do that, even though Cameron's heart's a little palpitating. He's still going to play, just can't do the fast roll. So we're all getting older, man. You start seeing it in your friends, and you go,
heart's palpitating. That's serious.
Hopefully that'll work itself out. And then I'm going to go over to a place called the Omni and play the How to Destroy.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Shit. You froze up.
Like the Republic thing at 6 o'clock. So if you're in Oakland and you just want to see some original music played with love, come on by. And,
all right, and I'll share those links on the Urfspace page.
I'm gonna do a little Hank Williams. What do you guys think? Is that a good one?
Oh, that sounds great.
Have you ever seen
Wow, amazing.
Hey.
Woo!
Do you know what that reminded me of? This might sound
I'm
crazy,
clapping.
but that actually kind of reminded me a little bit of some Leadbelly that I've listened to.
Yeah, I had a big
like-
Delta to blues period. You know, really when I was had some health issues in Brooklyn. You know, was pretty much dying from a thyroid disease, and so the Delta blues really resonated with me. You know, those guys lived it. You know, they're playing catgut string guitars. You know, like think about that kind of shit. You know, like they put my strings back on the plantation days.
Whoa.
So, yeah, so like that was literally like, but just the deep soul and empathy and just expressing it just to get through the day. You know, letting it out, that kind of shit. And, you know, it was a huge influence on me. So
Yeah, I mean, I didn't grow up with a lot of country, but when I started to get interested in country, it was all the probably pre-1980s stuff. I got into Townes Van Zandt for a while, really got into his stuff. And it's all this old country that I'm mostly interested in.
I like Johnny Cash.
Commercial 80s country, like you know, Robert Cray for the blues. You know, there was like
Or Garth Brooks.
Happened, I think, a little bit like it went through its course. It had its golden era, like country and the blues and big band, but now it's kind of retro. Like what's the music of the digital age? And so we hear these. That's why I gravitated to electronic music and digital music, because it reflects the times. And I like drum machines. You know, I even need to have some guy in the room beat the shit out of a kid. You know, like it's a wily, unwieldy beast. You know, because you can't turn the volume up or down on drums. You know, it's the one thing that you have to compete with them doing natural acoustics, and
Especially if he's smashing it.
yeah,
If he's not smashing it,
pounding it, yeah.
Yeah, like a really good drummer will like play to the room and stuff like that, but you don't see too many of those people. A lot of people just hit really hard.
Some people love. I personally like loud music. If I can't, I used to feel with the bass. If I could not feel it, it wasn't real. It wasn't happening.
Like the kick in the bass.
No, the bass amp, bass.
Yeah.
Guitar. If I didn't feel my own part, you know, because I was still young and inexperienced and developing, being a true player. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't worry, like you have all these effects. You don't even know how to use them when you're a kid because you're trying to cover up the fact that you suck.
Yes.
You know, you don't know what you're doing. You're like A, B, C, I don't even know. And then eventually, I was like, you get the confidence that you just plug straight into the amp, and you're a seasoned pro, and you're able to just make that instrument. Even a $200 beater, you know, you don't need a great instrument even.
Wait,
you know how to
wait.
play.
If I'm at the point where I'm not using pedals and I'm playing like straight into the amp, I'm an actual musician.
That means that you're being real about it. The effects only distort and manipulate the tone. What you're playing is not made better by it. You know, you're just, and so I think that.
Well, no, it's not made better at all because I consider myself bad at guitar. But I play for the enjoyment of playing.
Their own heart critic. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Yeah.
the.
I want to see you play guitar. You got one there? I want to hear a song by you.
I do have a guitar. I have my dad's guitars.
Ooh, yeah. Come on, I want to hear this.
Are you going to play guitar?
Okay. I will be right back.
Like
Let me grab the
Amber-
guitar.
Amber was out there for
Yeah.
this thing, and we were supposed to play guitar together, but it never happened.
You know, people just have to like. As we get older, I think people like really are more reluctant to spend real time, personal time, and you're live and in real time with each other. You know what I'm saying? We become more hesitant or apprehensive for whatever reasons. People don't like having each other. And you don't go over to your buddy's house and listen to a record and smoke weed. Remember that was an activity.
Yeah, that's true for sure.
The main activity is my crew did. Smoke weed and listen to an album together.
See, that's why if you're a guy, like, you know, I had this discussion with some of my guy friends. It's like as you get older, you kind of have to work at maintaining. Like guys are terrible at maintaining guy friendships, I think, and you have to kind of just work at that stuff. So when you're 70, it's not just like you on your porch, you know.
Yourself drinking your lemonade, going, God damn, I used to get some fine.
Yeah, I should have done the minimal amount of work 30 years ago.
I think it takes some love and devotion with your brotherhood. You know, like just be there for him, spend real time, seek him out, even if you got to swallow your pride and be the one who's contacting him and say, you mean something to me. You're an important person in my life, and I'm happy to have this time with you right now. Just show him your appreciation.
Well, or take up a hobby is my advice. I mean, you know, do an activity.
Get in a band with them.
Yeah, dinner, but that's what I do.
Yeah, that's kind of what I do.
Yeah, dinner, just to hang out with people, get you an excuse to gather and commune and make some noise. Great stuff.
Yeah, I got back together with my friends from college from the 90s to be in a band again. Oh, I can't believe we got Amber on the guitar.
All right, we got
Okay.
Bambi.
It turns out the secret is to ask her to get on the guitar.
Okay, let's see if I can actually play something that's not terrible. Okay, so he played Hank Williams. I'll play Johnny Cash. I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focused on the pain, the only thing that's real. The needle tears a hole, that old familiar sting. Try to kill it all away, but I remember everything. What have I become? My sweetest friend. Everyone I know goes away in you. You could have it all, my empire of dirt. I would let you down, I would make you hurt. I'm gonna stop right there. There's
Damn.
So good.
Amber, not
So
bad,
good.
Amber.
Yeah, amazing. That was so great.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop right there, but
Come play one of my shows. I'll get you to San Francisco.
I used to be a Disney princess.
And I definitely encourage you to just do it more. You got something.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I used to be a Disney princess at Disneyland, and so
I totally heard that in that song.
Now you're an Urfspace princess.
But I picked up the guitar originally in high school, and played it a little bit. My dad taught me a little bit, but I literally put it away for like 16 years, and then I picked it up about 4 years ago again, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna play and sing at the same time, which I've never been able to do before, and so I've gotten there. So, but yeah, I'm still a little shaky.
Roxy brings it out to people. He got me singing. That's never happened. That hasn't happened in like
What, he got you singing?
40 years.
Here, I'll do this, and then I'll open up Urfspace. Yeah.
Chuck?
Oh, yours is coming along nice, Chuck.
It's kind of an informative and entertaining
Oh yeah.
little get together.
It's like a variety hour.
I think people like it. I'll go ahead and promote it. But I think you should sing more. That was cool, man. It's reminded me like kind of a Riot Girl, kind of like in some ways just the delivery, the honesty, and the clean guitar.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I 100% agree.
There was a musician get together around here where I was invited, and it's very similar to kind of what you're setting up, but everybody sits around in a circle playing guitar and stuff. And I got so intimidated by that group, I just kind of backed out. I was like, oh no, thank you for having me, but no, I'm not.
I got to be real with you. I would tell you if you sucked. I mean, really. So I mean.
Oh well, I appreciate it.
No, I wouldn't. I was just saying, like that was really good, and so. I think there's a lot of people who. I have a friend Nancy who owns this children's store named Nancy Land. She used to live in Noe Valley or whatever, but she'd come by with her little blue guitar and been just as popular as anything else, just singing a couple covers or whatever she does because it's honest and real. And she's just enjoying just playing for some friends. Without or something, you know.
Well,
like
and again, I play for the enjoyment of playing, you know, and so. You know, I think that's a big part of it is people, they forget to be bad at something, right? It's okay to be bad at something because you have to get past the bad before you're good,
right? And I feel like people just stop at bad, and they're just like, I'll never become better. And it's like, well, if you stop there, you'll never become better.
Well, the drive to be a musician is like with diminishing returns these days. You know, like you pay for a studio, right? You're paying for it to go to all these shows. You get $30 to split among 4 people or something. You know, and like you're like $100 is a hey, we got paid. Hey, split between 4 people, $25. That's a big night. That would be a pretty successful night in the Bay Area for most working musicians in an independent label, in a level. You made $100 for the whole band. The bar back makes more than a whole band. Sometimes, maybe all the bands combined. Sometimes there's no reason to keep doing it. So, like, you have to love it. And you seem like you love singing, and I think there's a demographic of people out there who would enjoy it, even if you're just doing covers and you're just having a good time.
Well, maybe someday. Maybe next time I'm out in San Francisco, I'll play with you.
Where do you live?
I'm in Denver.
Oh, forget about it. You ain't coming. That's fine.
No, I was just there.
She was just here, yeah.
She was just
Next time you're there, let's arrange it. We'll set it up, and we'll have my people talk to you.
Well, I think we are her people.
That's good. I like seeing people. Did we run over? We're at over an hour.
Yeah, we usually go about an hour, usually like an hour and a half, maybe, if things are going. Up to you, Roxy, really.
Real quick, if anybody sees this, I'm doing a show on the 21st and the 28th at Haight Street Sessions, even though the guy, I'm going to talk about it. It's all going to happen. And we're doing, the first one's going to be on the 21st, so it's Saturday. We've got Jungle Cats, Step Up, an aggressive New York City hardcore style band. I think Swamp Thing, XOX is playing, and I think we've got Charm World. So anybody like any of those bands, it's going to be a fun little friendly gather, maybe one of their bands. And then the 20th, I'm going to do an industrial flavored show with a band called Killer Couture from Sacramento. So, and some other band, Costume Party. So, costumes are mandatory. But I mean, I'm not going to make anybody wear a costume, because I hate that, don't you? When it's like a costume event and you dress up, you feel like such a fucking idiot. You're like, here I am in my Queen of Hearts outfit. You know what I mean? Why?
Well, you're dressing up every day. You're living your best self every day.
Yeah, exactly. Chris knows what's up. You want to do it because you're more.
It's like taking a vacation. Who needs a vacation?
Patrick Stewart has talked about this. He says that because he's an actor, he hates costumes. Right, because he has to wear costumes every day for his job.
That's his job.
Right, and so there's a picture of him in a lobster costume that his wife made him take, where he's in a bathtub in this lobster costume. It's one of the most popular pictures of him on the internet, and he's like, I fucking hate it.
Wait a second, he has a wife?
Amber, we call Amber the human hyperlink. She's a bit like the internet. She's constantly trying to distract you with some irrelevant fact.
No, I just know too many facts about randomness.
From the late 60s, it was like how to be a nonconformist. So I read that when I was a little kid, and I hate joining in with a group activity that's obligatory because I feel like I don't know, it doesn't come natural to me.
You feel like it's like you're succumbing to the group pressure.
Everybody says I should do this, so I should do this. You know, to give everybody presents on Christmas or give somebody a box of chocolates on Valentine's Day. It's a bunch of bullshit. It's a marketing scam. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as just how we act. If you want to get together on New Year's Eve and say, hell yeah, that was a good year, we're still here. Or on birthdays, I think, are one of the most important holidays because it celebrates life and you're being born into the world. So with my friends, I take the time to spend time with them or take them out for a drink or a meal and, you know, just try to how you be there. Because some people are in the city and they're alone on their birthday. You know what I'm saying? They're too proud to ask their friends to come hang out with them, or they got other plans and they're like, oh, well, they need a TV dinner, invited to you know.
My spouse's birthday is the 26th of December, so he hates his birthday.
I hate him now too because I'm getting fucking old, and it reminds me every year that I can't look good for my age. I don't know. My friend actually, I said my friend who I know pretty well, his name's Johnny Witch Doctor, and I said, well, how old do you think I was? And he knew me a while and seen me warts and all, different ties, razor stubble. He said he was 10 years younger than I really am. So, you know, I thought that was a good assessment of a guy who's pretty fucking aware and intelligent. Making an educated guess and still thinking 10 years. You know, I'm 72, guys. I'm not going to lie. But, I mean...
I thought you were younger.
You do not look 72.
Fooled me.
Wow.
I'm not 72.
That's amazing.
Like, you know,
You're the same age as my mom, and you look way better than my mom.
Dude, I want to make Alice involved now.
Amber's mom is not watching. I guarantee it.
No, she's not.
Good. You know, my mom was into it. I shared with her kind of writing literature on Facebook with her. Like she's as 9 years, I kind of exploited Facebook for everything I can get out of it. With visual art, for promotion. They've exploited me. Right?
No, I love this attitude though.
We were like,
most people just bitch about most people just bitch about how Facebook is exploiting them. I like this path you're taking about like you're going to exploit them for everything you can
get. I did
get.
thing for a journal that I could print it. Thousands of people might receive that, but it catches on. My writing, like I didn't realize that people want you to like their comments at first and interact with them in that level.
Yeah.
They're like, here it is, I wrote it, deal with it. You know what I mean? And it was like, because I thought that kind of, I'm from New York, kind of harsh delivery, and there it is in the stark white light. There you are.
Yeah. I always find that a bit difficult. It's like writing greeting cards or something.
I didn't realize that either, Roxy. That people want you're supposed to respond to the comments, and I am just getting onto that.
You know what I'm saying? And you see people who know how to work it, especially some of my, just people who are attractive people, you know, they can just tell people are interested in them, and they're able to work their relationships and their fan base into friends or people that keep them interested, like letting them in. You know,
looks fade, but talent and hard work, they stick with you.
And responding to comments.
Yeah, speaking of which, have we been responding to the comments? We've got comments.
Oh, we're going to respond to some comments right now.
You do it. Let's do
it. Wait, it's not even showing the comments. Like the comments, there are comments been coming in that weren't coming up.
They're all like
no, it says round of applause.
It does? Okay.
Last one, yeah.
Well, they've all disappeared again for me now.
Thank you, Val's Clover. Val's Clover? Yes.
Okay.
And Teresa Moore. Teresa Moore was in there at some point.
Weddings, funerals. I don't know. We gotta have a band. Right? What is the show called, Andy? What is the name of the show? Urfspace?
We're calling it the Urfspace Live. Is currently the show.
Yeah. No, station identification. This is Roxy Roller.
So,
yeah. Yeah. Do an ident for us, Roxy.
I know. I gotta do one of those sound bites. It's like.
When did you know that you were a musician? Like,
well,
when did you know? When you're like, this is my path.
I know the interview just kind of. I haven't been interviewed enough. There was something that was called 10 questions with Roxy Roller. I'll send it to you guys in one of it, but.
Yeah.
I felt the calling like no other thing in my life. You know, I was more known for being a dancing boy who was a player. You know, just had a lot of lovers, and you know, because people could tell you could fuck when you dancing. You know what I'm saying? Straight up, right? Look around you. They know you got the boogie in your jeans. You know, and just feeling good about yourself, feeling good about everybody else. You know, I didn't get the love from my parents and my family because they were, you know, flatly rejected it and said, you're nothing, you're never going to be anything. So I said, I found one thing I was good at, and that was fucking girls and getting them off. I mean, saying that for me, and like, you know, and that was something that I was like, 100 girls can't be wrong, and it just kind of built on itself. And it built on itself, and I was just like, it was the only way that I could find my self-worth. You know what I'm saying? I'm real about it enough because I really wasn't good at anything else. I'm not going to lie. Or I didn't have any like real stuff happening for me because I wasn't educated. I did terrible at school. And so anyway, so you get into dancing, you do new modeling in art schools, you just try to find a way to make money with hair down to your waist in the 80s, you know? I'm not a kid, you know? And fucking finding a way that somebody would hire you, period, to washing dishes. I was like, dude, you're a walking anarchy. I saw you at the club, you whipped me with your hair. You know, I had hair just like swirling around, just having a good time. And I guess his girlfriend noticed me or something. I don't know. I was living in Athens, Georgia, and rent was $80 a month. So long story short to that was like, I kind of was watching bands on stage. I was burning to get on stage. I wanted it more than anything in the world. It was single-minded, and I put together a band of some older guys kind of got in there. Good musicians. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. So then I had a band called Naked in the Rain. Because I figured, like, I used to go out on my roof and, like, with the elements, just do, like, rain spirit dancing. You know, like, fucking, I was naked in the rain. So I was like, okay, we'll call it that. You're vulnerable, but you're strong enough to be vulnerable and naked and not afraid. There you are. What are you going to do about it? There you are. You know what I'm saying? And that takes a lot for men, a lot of men, to just be standing there and be like, I'm good with it. I don't care. You know, I'm comfortable in my skin and I'm with my sexuality and everything else. So it was a band that kind of was good. And, you know, it's a learning curve. You know, you kind of just learn. I didn't know where all the notes were when I started the band. And I grew up in public a little bit, but I wouldn't trade it because I wanted it that bad. And eventually, with a lot of hard work and years, and having 10 years off for health issues, I was on the fucking heat, dude. I was ready to fucking. I was ready to die. I was in that much pain. I was a thyroid condition and fibromyalgia and some other stuff were going on. And so I came out of it. I'm a fucking testament that you can overcome adversity if you want it. If you believe it and you're sick of feeling bad, you learn pain management, and you have to have something that you really sink your teeth in, hang your hat on, and get up that day ready to fucking work and drive. And that's what music gave to me. Rock and roll saved me from that. And I moved to the Redwoods, and then I healed up a little bit, and I said, I can still do this. And I got back in the game and turned into one of the hardest working bands on the West Coast. I played every hole in the wall. I never said no. I was a host. I was ready to go, and that's what I made my bones. Let's go to Vegas for the weekend. We drive out Friday, play the show for $50, drive back. My guys were working a 5-day work week, so they couldn't play anything more than that. And we did that. I thought, that's crazy, but that's when MySpace was working for the independent musician. It's a phenomenon, and it really gave me an electronic press kit to actually book shows. Before that, you send an 8x10 black and white glossy with your stupid cassette and go right in the garbage, man. These people wouldn't give a fuck if it wasn't solicited. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You didn't have a manager going, hey, I got the connections. There was a circuit and a kind of hierarchy on the East Coast coming up around, REM and then the college rock thing going on. And it was really like you had to know somebody to make something happen. And then all of a sudden I was like, there's our thing, there's our songs. And they booked me in Seattle, Portland, Vegas, and away we went.
That's a great story.
Yeah, I mean, it's the truth. I mean, if you give up, ain't nothing going to happen. And it ain't over till it's over. And I was ready, people can get those moments of truth. And I couldn't take me, man. I was in that much pain. That unhappiness and the isolation was complete. You're like, okay, I'm done. I'm fucking done. There's nothing there. And it shows as long as you keep a spark, a tiny spark inside you, you can build an inferno to the sky and live your dreams. And I think I had unresolved karma to do with this band. If I never had the success I did in the second phase, I would have been haunting the earth, just go like some coliseum, or somewhere, just going, dude, I don't know, the afterglow of the performance. It was just a pilgrimage when you're a kid. You go see a concert, you put on the T-shirt a week before, you're wearing it every day, you listen to the album, you're going to go see this artist, you're going to be in the same room with this guy. Oh my God, Ted Nugent, it's going to be amazing. And there you go. And I saw Ted Nugent was my first concert. What was your first concert for you guys? Like, what was when you saw that?
I think my first concert was in the 80s with it was probably like someone like a hair band like Poison or Motley Crue or someone like that.
Motley Crue were the kings, dude.
So the first concert I went to with my parents, or the first concert I went to by myself?
Was who?
By myself. Like the first one I went to by myself, or the first one okay, because like my parents, when I was about 10 or 11, they took me to Neil Young. That was my first concert.
He's like making stuff.
I'm here. I'm drawing. I'm working on the picture.
He's doing the Bob Ross thing.
I'm listening.
Streams. Okay, we're back.
So what now, Amber?
Mr.
It was Neil Young. So.
Seems like it's cutting out on me, you guys. I mean, we could call it if you want.
Yeah.
Well,
I think we've done pretty well. It's been an hour and a half. That's a good long show. Roxy, you've been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on.
We're gonna have to definitely have you on again.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to do it. We're trying to do it for the young people. So if there's any young people out there who want to learn a bit about creative lifestyle,
they're not gonna watch past this anyway. So
No, they're not going to. But maybe the robots in the future will scan it and they'll learn something.
See you next time. We'll see you soon, okay?
Yeah. All right, thanks. I'm going to play the theme tune now. Bye, Roxy.
Bye, Roxy.
All right. Bye, everybody. All right, check it out. Yeah, Roxy's got some shows. I'll be posting them on the Urfspace. And now I'm going to play the theme tune. Yeah, I think we wore him out a bit there, so that's good. But he wore... He's an amazing guy. That was amazing.
That was a great story about the whole rock and roll thing.
Yes. Yeah. All right. Well, sorry about the captions taking up the page. All right, that's the end of the show. We'll be back next week. Next week is the Artspan Open Studios exhibit, which I'm. That's the same night. I don't know. I'm wondering if we're going to do a show on the road. Like Amber will be hosting the show from the studio, and Chris. If you want, you can be at the studio. You can come with me and I'm going to go to the Open Studios. I think you came to it with me last year.
Where was it?
It's at the Soma Arts Centre.
Soma
Is that right? Soma Arts. Soma
Oh wait,
Arts.
was that big place with
Yeah.
And the person who won was that really like technical artist?
Yeah.
Yeah. I might be down for that.
Yeah, I thought we could sort of try doing a sort of show. I don't know. Does that make sense? Can we do a show? We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we should talk about it. I don't know. I mean, like, will they let you do it is the thing.
Well, they want publicity.
Well, we'll just kind of do it and see if they stop us.
Yeah, if they stop us, Amber. Well, it'll be an experiment on some guerrilla broadcasting as Chris and I continue our. Well, it's been at least a year now that we've been because we did that last year, and so we've been at least a year revitalizing the art scene in San Francisco.
That's right. It's almost nearly vital now. It's got a pulse. It's a little bit.
Yeah,
weak,
it's starting to not need our efforts much.
Yeah. But we're still gonna do it because we like to drink and have fun.
Yeah, but we're having some good times. Yeah, we've got it. We're having there's a Seagull show
on the 14th.
Playing on Saturday at the Milk Bar in San Francisco, and then they're with Charm World,
and
so that's in the Haight district. And then the following week on October 26th. No, that's not the following week. That's another week off. But there'll be a show with Roxy and her and Anne and who's on the album, and Teresa, and they'll all be playing with they do like a Nick Cave cover band and a Cure cover band, and they'll all be playing on October 26th, which I think is also a Thursday. I might have thought it was a Wednesday at one point, but I realise now it's a Thursday. So not till 8, so we could do the show before, or we could try broadcasting a show from the Knockout, which will probably be quite unwatchable.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of.
We might, but
we could do it.
I had this idea about the Hitman and Her. They used to have the show late at night on Fridays or Saturday nights in England, I suppose. Late on Saturday night, the Hitman and Her, it would come on. At the beginning, there'd be a sort of presenters, sort of, but then after a while, it would just be sort of people dancing in a nightclub.
I mean, couldn't we just bring like a notepad and write notes and hold them up to the camera? Because it's going to be like.
Well, it'll be a musical performance, won't it? We'll be broadcasting the musical performance.
But if we want to say something, it'll sound like.
Well, we won't say much. Yeah, it'll be more like we'll be sort of live streaming it.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. We'll have a show before. We'll just do the show before and then go on to that. I don't know.
I'm down. I'm down for trying it out.
Right. Tell you what. I'm going to end the show. We're going to discuss it, but we'll be back Thursday
with more crotches
next week with more crotches. All right. Oh, wait. I'm just going to show my picture quickly, mate, because I didn't really show that. There she is. I'm going to colour that. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Here's a theme song for Chuck Whelon Showy. He asked me to write one, but I stole from David Bowie. Here's a theme song. Chuck Whelon is the best. We have lots of hosts, but we're running out of gas. Will you be our guest on? Will you be our guest on? Be on the Chuck Whelon Show.